What is up, guys? We are ranking some One Piece villains. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Let's just jump right into it, baby. First villain we got is Captain Axehand Morgan. A solid introductory villain, I guess. I mean, he's not really someone you can relate to because this dude just go around swinging the axe. I guess this is kind of where we meet Zoro. I guess a solid introductory villain, but really no problem for Luffy at all. And I'm kind of gonna be ranking these things on: do I have a general interest in these characters? What are my first thoughts? And kind of how they affect the rest of the story. This man, he doesn't really do much. And also kind of a spoiler warning, I am going to be kind of ranking all these characters up until, where the manga is right now. So if some of these characters pop back up, then I probably will, be talking about what they do. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I think C is pretty fair, I guess. I mean, I don't think he's awful, but all right, next we have Buggy. So Buggy is, I know we're kind of skipping like a few of the other ones like Alvida, but like you guys know, like Alvida's whatever, right? We got Buggy here, baby. And he's the first devil fruit eater pretty much that Luffy goes up against. I mean, to this point in the story, he is in the story a lot. I mean, spoiler warning, he's an emperor now. This dude is crazy, bro. Kind of had a glow up. Obviously, he's kind of a fraud and a fake, but when he's on the screen, you can't help just think he is a main character. Bold prediction, I think he's gonna friggin' live till the end of the series, bro. Like, I really don't see him dying. Maybe for like Shanks, he'd die, but like otherwise, I don't know. He's a funny villain, but nothing crazy. Kind of more of a comedic relief villain. All right, next we have Captain Kodo. So he was the man where we got introduced to Usopp, basically, in Syrup Village. He's a little weird. He pretty much just wasted however many years, like, just trying to get this money. Like, I respect the bag chasing, but he kind of, like, wasted a lot of his life, and he's not that strong. He has, like, that one really weird move. He's not that interesting. There's some good fight scenes with him. So for that, I'd probably put him above Axehand Morgan, but yeah, the fight scenes are starting to get better throughout here. So all right, moving on to Don Krieg here. So this is, we basically see him during the Baratier arc a little bit. Dude, the live action actually cut him out, bro. And spoiler alert, like we saw him in the recent chapter 1117. He snuck him in. Oda snuck him in, so he is back with long hair. That still doesn't really affect his character, how I feel about him at all. I think Luffy's fight against him is actually really good. That's one of the better things, like him and Sanji and stuff fighting him. I think that's one of the better things that come from Don Krieg, I guess. And just because of that, I'd probably throw him at the front of C for now. But that's it. All right, next we get to some real villains, baby. Arlong. So dude, this is where I fell in love with the series. I've said it in the past. I freaking love Arlong. I don't want to ramble on too much about all of these villains because you guys know these villains. I'm just trying to give kind of my 2 cents a little bit on each one of them. Arlong he's above these characters. After, we see that he was trying to build, he lived in Fishman Island under Sabaody Park, and he tried to make his own park, dude. That just added way more depth to his character. The arc is freaking awesome. The fights are awesome. Arlong's a great villain. He's a great villain. I don't think he's quite an S tier villain, but he's an A tier villain. All right, next we have Wapol. He is just in the story. This dude is just in a bunch of chapters, even after his arc, when this dude's been doing so many side quests and just like roaming about the world of the One Piece. It's so hard to rank him because he's just like a dude at the end of the day, bro. Like, he has a weird freaking power, but I don't think I would actually put him above any of these characters. I don't think he's awful. I'll just throw him at the back of C for now. All right, next we have Crocodile. Oh, Crocodile was so good. I don't know if he was A or S for me. He is up there. He's definitely above Buggy. Alabasta was awesome arc, so that in itself is gonna elevate him heavy. Obviously, there's a little some continuity errors, honestly, because how is Luffy beating him and then he's clashing with Mihawk down the line in Marineford? Because Luffy didn't even have Haki like when he beat him. So I don't know. He's a great character and he's still in the story to this day, and I can't wait to see like more of him. So I'd probably throw him above Arlong, honestly, just because I love the arc and I can't wait to see more from him. I'm intrigued by this character. All right, next we have Blackbeard. Oh yeah, by the way, this is kind of in order, these villains, but yeah. So this is Blackbeard. We meet him we meet him in Jaya right before they go up in CNL. But till this day, man, Blackbeard I think is going to be the final boss of pretty much the One Piece world. I just don't see a world where Luffy isn't battling off against this man towards the end of the story and freaking kicking his butt. He's a really, really intriguing character. I wish we got to see more of him. Like, I know we're gonna get the expedition dump eventually about him, because obviously there's been some theories about him where he has split personality disorder, he doesn't sleep. Like, if you've seen it, you guys know, like, there's just a lot of question marks surrounding Blackbeard, and he is strong as anything. So honestly, for his intrigue alone, I'd probably throw him up in A tier, bro. I don't know if I'd throw him above Crocodile, just because he pulls up in such strategic ways. I don't know. I just want to see him go all out against Luffy. That's going to be an awesome battle. All right, next we have NL. NL, I don't really have too much to say about NL besides, like, Skypiea was cool, and those cover stories were, intriguing, because certainly he's going to be back with those people on the moon, right? Oda wouldn't just do that. I'd probably just throw him in B tier. He's really cool power, and I love how he looks like Slim Shady, but yeah. Next we have Lucci. Rob freaking Lucci, man. This is, Water 7 is kind of like where I, like, started really loving the series. Obviously, I said, like, I loved it in Arlong when, they rescue Nami, but Water 7 is when the hands just start getting thrown, and I love it. I'm here for it. And I love the new Egghead Lucci versus Luffy. It's freaking so cool. I love how they brought him back. He's an intriguing character. I mean, all he really does is throw hands, but, like, I'm kind of here for it at the end of the day. I don't know if I'd throw him quite in A tier. I'd probably throw him top of B. All right, we have Spondum. I'm just not going to talk about these. They're just menaces, I guess. All right, next we have Gecko Moria, man. Gecko Moria is literally, I saw this somewhere. He's basically Luffy. Gecko Moria got defeated by Kaido, and basically his motivation was gone. So he's basically Luffy if he just never had the motivation to keep fighting after losing to Kaido. I think Thriller Bark gets, like, some hate about it dragging on, but if Gecko Moria looked as cool as, like, I don't know, Akainu or someone, like, maybe the arc would be cooler, but it's the type scenario. He's like a B, not quite bad, not quite really good, just kind of in the middle. I don't think anyone would argue, but yeah. All right, next we have Aokiji. This dude, I love this dude's powers, first of all. I love the first time we see him when he freaking pieces up the Straw Hats, and now he's in the Blackbeard Pirates crew. This dude took so many turns. I can't wait to see what he does in the future. Man, him and Smoker's not on here, I just realized. Him and Smoker have, like, a cool relationship, so I just want to see where that goes. He is so intriguing. I love this dude. He's not quite like a villain, I would say, but hey, he's on here, and I freaking love the character. I'm putting him in A. Next, we have Kizaru. All right, this man in Egghead is just absolutely getting just defeated, bro. He's like, what do I do, bro? My best friend just died. Kizaru also looks cool as hell, bro. He's the flyest looking one of the Admirals. Come on, look at those glasses. I don't know if I dabble between A and B with him, because we don't see him obviously too much, but I love his, like, chill manner, bro. He's just, like, silently killing people, like, pop, pop, pop with his freaking energy blasts. Do I like him more than Lucci? Probably not, but he is so good. I do enjoy his character a lot, and I can't wait to see, where he goes down the line. All right, next we have Warden Magellan. Impel down was cool. I think Magellan is an overpowered freaking fruit, because, he's just freaking poisoning everyone. I think he's more intriguing than Moria, to be real. Like, as much as NL, probably not. I think that's a good spot for him. He has some good fights with Luffy. I hope we see him soon again, because it'd be interesting to see, him fight off against Luffy with Haki. Now that Luffy has Haki. All right, now we have Sakazuki. This man is either the most hated man or the most loved man, bro. I could just appreciate him being a menace. He's up there kind of with that Blackbeard category of where he's an endgame type of villain against Luffy. I just love how he just is himself, bro, and he just freaking does what he wants. I would throw him up here in A tier. Just because on the fact that I cannot wait to see the fights in the future with him. They're going to be so good. And yeah, Hordy Jones, I just don't want to talk about this dude. He was boring. He didn't really catch my eye. He looks like Michael Jackson. Yeah. All right, Caesar Clown. He has that nice little laugh. Everyone knows that laugh, man. I think he's more interesting than Wapple. He's probably more interesting than all these C tier characters. I think I'm gonna move Moria down to C and move Caesar up to B. That looks right. All right, next we have Jack. So Jack, oh my, dude, that interact little thing on Zoe with Jack versus all the Minks, man, that was awesome, bro. Dude, I freaking love that arc, dude. Like, it was a little, small. You're like, why are we on Zoe when we're trying to go to Wano? But it's whatever. I think there was a good twist how, like, he finally gets pieced up by Zunisha, and then, oh, he's a fishman. But, oh my god, that's crazy. So that kind of makes you think, the fishmen who have devil fruits, they kind of just, like, sit there. I don't know. Leave it in the comments. I have no clue. But Jack, he's kind of a menace. He kind of gets pieced up in Wano. He's probably the weakest of, Kaido's main guys. I'd probably throw him in back. I think Moria is above him, bro. I'm sorry. Jack's cool, but Wano really downgrades him for some reason. All right, here we go. Now we are going to the S tier villains. Okay. Dressrosa, I know, it goes on for so long. But this man is a complete menace the entire time. Doflamingo, bro. He is wild, man. Like, his fruit is cool. His freaking crew is cool. The arc is fun. Everything about him and his arc is intriguing. They always show, like, panels of him freaking laughing and Impel down. So he's got to come back eventually. I was just so infatuated with Don Quixote, Doflamingo. I love him, man. I'm throwing him in S tier. I love him. All right, next we have Kataguri. Dude, maybe one of my favorite fights in the whole series. Kataguri versus Luffy. Oh my gosh, what an awesome freaking battle, dude. When Luffy breaks that glass and is like, yeah, I'm fighting you, even though I'm getting pieced up this entire time. Dude, he is like top at A for me. Like, I know he's like not really, because Big Mom is like the main villain of that, I guess. But Kataguri fight is so good. That's when we really see Luffy start to level up and get that future sight haki. If you've seen the fight, everyone pretty much agrees that it is a sick fight. The Mochi Mochi fruit is pretty cool. I love him. He's cool. All right, Big Mom. Big Mom and Emperor, pretty much Luffy just declaring war on her so early on. She's cool. I love her background story. It's pretty cool how she's like a giant, but she's hated. She ate her freaking little friends in Mother Carmel. I'd probably just throw her an A. I know she's probably not dead. Oda doesn't really like killing off people, so it's kind of hard. I'm just gonna throw her an A though. But then that makes Kataguri way above her. I'm gonna throw Blackbeard like here and move everything like that. I think that looks right. I have a lot of A tiers. I'm sorry. I love One Piece. All right, next we have Orochi. Another one of those villains where it's like, he just gets so many panels and screen time, and he's just not interesting, man. I get his whole shtick is like he's a menace, and they did wrong by his clan, so now he's gonna make Wano a freaking awful place to, like, it's kind of just beat into the ground. Like, Doflamingo is beat into the ground, but it's so good. And I just don't think that's really the case with Orochi. I just don't like him. I'm sorry. I'll throw him above Wapol just because I don't know. I don't know. All right. And I know we're not going to have any egghead villains on here because we'll wait until that, is kind of wrapped up with a bow. But Kaido, I'm just going to throw him in S tier. I know his whole thing is kind of just, he's just a beast and he can't die. It's weird how they kind of portray him as suicidal earlier on in the series. And then all of a sudden, like, he wants to live and wants to become king of the pirates with Lin Lin. Like, it's a little bit of a continuity, like, hiccup. But the fight of Gear, all right, spoiler, Gear 5 Luffy versus Kaido, it just launches him in the S tier, and I don't think he's dead as well because I don't think Oda likes killing off these villains. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these villains, man. I think Oda does an insanely good job of creating the hype around the villains, and then we get to them and they're really good. Like, I can't wait for these future villains. I can't wait for the Godasei fights. I mean, for more of the Godasei fights, because they're definitely gonna pop up. I can't wait for the Emu fights. Oda is cooking, and I'm here for it. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'll see ya.